do it anymore. Like, we have this super cute parrot emoji on the Discord. I just love it to death. Can do very weird movements with their neck. Anyways, we're live, so we better behave. All right. So next week we're gonna have our regular DAO call, just as a quick reminder, right? So next week we will get core team updates from Julian. Next week we're gonna summarize what's been going on for the last month, right? So that's all gonna happen next week. This week, one more time, we're gonna focus on some more specific topics, essentially. So 3 things are up on today's agenda. Number 1 is Partnership Dude telling us more about the dashboard that they built. Second is Soho and Cece talking a little bit about Garden and how this can improve DAO activity. And number 3 is our organizational tree is now finally with HATS protocol. And I created a form for everyone to fill out to add their data to it so we can drop these HATS protocol NFTs to you guys and make you officially become part of the organization. And we'll also tell you about the really lovely call I had with Nick from HATS. All right, so let's get cooking here. Partnership Dude, you're ready for your little presentation? I don't know. I think him dropping out means maybe not yet. But I saw Mario 5 was unmuting himself or themselves. You want to say hi?
Yes, hi. Sorry
Hi.
for not being able to use my camera. I have some connectivity problems, so I rather leave without camera than without contact.
That's totally fine. Don't worry about it. You're new. Am I wrong? This is like the second call you're joining, or have you been around before?
No, I think you're right. Maybe it's the second or third, but I'm new to the meeting, to the group.
So welcome. Anyways, welcome.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, right, just shoot in the chat and bug us. Totally fine to be confused. Okay, cool. Until Partnership Dude rejoins, well, let's talk about but Soho isn't here either, so I guess I should do the HATS protocol stuff, right? Okay, fine. So guys, this is essentially the form. Please fill it out and I will show you a little bit about this stuff. So the form works like this. It's pretty simple. This is our very, very sleek tree. So I listened to David, I listened to Nick and made this very sleek for us, right? So there is no distinction between different steward roles. There is no distinction between different levels of ambassadors. Essentially, these are the elements and only apply for the role that you are sure you have. So it's really cute if, Julian would be applying for a steward role, but he isn't a steward, so he cannot have it, right? But he's lucky he gets 2 NFTs. So Julian should be applying for those 2 NFTs because they're super, super cool. So yeah, this is essentially the form. So the first thing is obviously we're going to ask you for your wallet, but we're going to do it in text message. Please add it as a wallet, not as an ENS domain. Don't let me go through the trouble of resolving it because it doesn't resolve itself, okay? Then what type of role? Please just select one of those 3. Probably most of you will be cabin crew, so do that. And a way to reach out to you in case we have questions. It's either email or Discord handle. It depends on you and what you prefer. And then submit. So it's super, super simple, easy to do. Please do it and we can officially drop these. I had a very nice conversation with Nick on this. Also in the sense of what they are currently building with Curie. Which is a new product that they're betting on right now. So it's going to keep being interesting. And Yeah, nothing more for right now. This is essentially it. This is next step. And then we can look into governance 2.0, which would allow, for example, for a voting combination of an NFT, of an active role NFT plus, oh, Hamti, like, ah, ah, dude, you're here and you're ahead. Nice. Welcome.
Hi, Stella. Can you hear me now?
Oh yes, partnership dude. Yes, we can hear you now. So I guess this is your point. Now jump in. Now it's the floor is yours. Maximum 10 minutes. You think you can do that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes, I
cool.
can. All right. So let's share the screen. Let's get going. So bup. So I'm not a person to start without some introduction. So I'm partnership dude by name, and that's a brand name. My name is Jackson David, and we use this tool for the unlock protocol. So while I was on my mirror board earlier today, I was like, okay, what exactly do we want to do with um sorry, oops, mirror, what's happening? Ah, guess it cleared up. Anyways, while I was on my mirror board today, I was like, what do we do for unlock, and how do I get this information across? So we've used this tool called unlock.dgov.ai, and it helps with AI powered on chain governance for the unlock protocol. So it has six or five main tabs, which is the dashboard, the proposers, the delegates, the profiles, as well as the treasury. So I'll begin quickly by connecting to my wallet right away. And yep, I'm connected. So if you notice this treasury tab, it displays the total value which unlock has in the treasury. And as at today, it sits at 485. Am I correct, Stella?
Yes, numbers seem correct. Last I
Okay,
checked was
okay,
yesterday.
okay, cool, wonderful. So I'll just walk everyone here how to join um, on unlock.dgov.ai, either as a delegate or if you want to delegate to the AI agent on the platform. So, first of all, you head over to edit your profile very quickly. So, you can just put this here partnership dude. You need to put in the other details, but for the sake of time, I wouldn't be doing that. Then it prompts you to sign a transaction, and yep, here you go. Um, so yep. My network is shitting on me right now. It's slow. Oops. So yeah, why this is loading? Yes, let's confirm.
It's okay,
Save.
happens all the
So yep.
time.
So yeah. So I go on to join as delegates, and I continue. So it says you're going to participate in the delegation by converting your. I have just 1,000 UP tokens to voting power. Please continue if you like want to proceed. Yes, I continue, and it loads up quickly. Another transaction to sign. I mean, it's faster if you're on a faster network. I'm using the public Wi-Fi right now, so that's why it's a bit slow on my end. So it's faster on a personal Wi-Fi or network. Uh, okay, let's confirm this. Uh, so I click on the confirm button. And once this moves through, I should be confirmed as a delegate on unlock.dgov.ai. So this goes through. Yes, and I just refresh this page. I refresh. Hmm. And yes, my voting power now appears at this point 1,000 UP tokens. And so it's cool to use. You can go to the proposal segment, vote on proposal you love. Like this is active, the liaison engineer proposal. So the beautiful feature in which our application has is that it has the main content, right, for the proposal. Then whenever anyone makes a proposal on chain, it creates an off-chain discussion on Twitter, which is X. So when I click on this, it takes me to this discussion, which is basically about the proposal that has been made. So this discussion here is used to track the community sentiment around this proposal. If people are liking the proposal, if people voted in positive light for this proposal. So look at this. So for instance, you can see new proposal, liaison engineer, technology and innovation steward, modified. This proposal seeks to renew then it comes liaison engineer focusing on driving innovation. So you can choose to vote for and send this. So what this enables the AI agent to do, it tracks the sentiment around this proposal. Like okay, people online are saying yes, we want Danny Thomas to be the new liaison engineer, and it takes feedback from that. It also takes feedback from people that have voted on chain already. So if other users in the Unlock protocol DAO has voted in positive favor for this proposal, the AI agent also takes cue from that. So that's one aspect. Then this, which is the AI review, which is for those who don't have time to gloss over proposals. You can just click on this, and my network is a bit lagging. You can just click on this and get a quick summary of what the entire proposal is. So, proposal by Danny Thoms, also known as Black Hat, seeks the renewal of his role as liaison engineer, but Unlock Protocol DAO. The role focuses on driving innovation and all those very beautiful stuff, right? So it brings up the summary of everything for those who don't have time to gloss through proposals. And yes, let me just show how voting works on chain. So if I want to vote, I don't know why this is calling my MetaMask extension again, but let's do this. Uh, so this is a bit slow. Connect wallet. Why did it disconnect? Okay, I think it's because I refreshed the screen and everything. So, sorry for the lag over here. I don't usually like to do this. I like to show people this in person. But yeah, okay. So it connects to the wallet. Connect this website dgov.ai with MetaMask, and connecting. Yep. So yes, I can vote on chain by taking on the votes here. My voting power comes on here. I write the comment on why I'm voting this way. Hey, I love Danny Thoms, even though I don't know him yet. So I can do this as well. Sorry, hide this. I can submit this to vote. So let's say um, I use 4, and I submit this. So I can submit this, and it gets to vote for me immediately. So this is one way, and the other way, which is of interest to us, right? It's for those who don't have time to participate in governance day-to-day activity. So you can now delegate your tokens or your voting power to AI agents, and these AI agents would eventually vote for you based on the sentiment it gets from X one, based on um, the decision of others on chain. So if Stella votes on chain, if every other person, Jason and every other of us votes on chain, it also takes um, Q from those decision, and it takes a decision, right? So and it's not just AI powered, right? It's a collaboration because it doesn't just make this vote on its own. It makes this vote based on the cues it gets from people who have voted already, and also the comments it gets on X on the proposal. So with that, it makes it easier for people to have their tokens active even though they don't participate in governance. So lastly, I would like to wrap this up with delegating all my votes to the DGov agents and explain how the workflow works. So by delegating this, um, my voting power is now transmitted to this AI agent called the DGov agent, and it votes for me on every single proposal on the unlock protocol. This is our unique edge that we want every DAO, every protocol to know about. We want everyone who care about increasing their delegation in their project or in their product to care about, because it steps up things, right? Earlier today, I was talking with the guys from ENS DAO. I was on their MetaGolf Steward call earlier today, and I also demoed Digoff. We also shipped for them, and truthfully speaking, those guys we are in awe. They love the idea because a major problem which they faced in at ENS is that there's reduced participation in governance, and so with this delegation, it encouraged people to just have their tokens active, voting, and not just voting, right? You also vote in the right direction because it's not just AI deciding, okay, I want to vote for, I want to vote against. No, it takes sentiment from what people are already voting, and also takes sentiment from what people are saying about that proposal on X. So it pulls information from all these sources to make a decision. And I think that's the message we're trying to spread with DGov. So we want to make governance as seamless, as easy, as fast, as time efficient. You don't need to be present. You just need to have your tokens delegated to this AI agent, and it does the work for you. So that's like the short summary of what it looks like. It has a very intuitive dashboard, and it shows the total voting power, the total delegates, the total proposals, can scroll through. It has a very beautiful interface for making new proposals. It shows that I have to have the required voting power, which is 50,000 UP tokens to create a proposal. What other exciting
Also correct,
thing do we have
by the
here?
way.
Sorry.
No, I was saying also correct, by the way. All the data is correct.
Yeah. We build this off Open Zeppelin protocol. So we are open to support all DAOs that use the Open Zeppelin protocol. And I think Unlock is one of the projects that are making use of this protocol. So we did this, and I mean it's a chill environment, a chill space out here. I'm here to take all questions, take all feedbacks, and just see how we can refine this product so that we have something way narrowed down for the unlock protocol. So I think I can take a pause here, take questions, so that we steer this conversation to where we need to move it towards and essentially have a good time. So yeah, this is me. Oh, Julian raised up his hand. So yeah, Julian, you can, I don't know, still I can hear, ask a question.
Yeah, so actually, a whole discussion thread was opened in the chats from Julian saying it is good and shows how smart contracts are decoupled from front ends. Making it a big point. So good build, because Will and I responded to that and we're like, okay, if he praises this, it must be good.
No, I mean, so first of all, I mean, there's two different things to praise.
I cannot hear you, Julian.
I can hear you, Julian. I can hear you, sir. Julian.
Yeah, you can hear
Okay.
me. I don't know what. Can you hear me outside of Stella? Ceci,
yeah. Yes. Yes, now I can hear you too.
I don't know.
You're back.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, maybe if you're presenting, I don't know. But anyway, so there's two things that are amazing about this. There's one which is first, it's a really good app. Like I went on it, well coded, perfectly executed, smooth, clear. So kudos for this. This is really good, and I think I'm going to use this by default from now on because this is going to be, it's I think easier than Tally. The other part is really what I said about decoupling. And Ceci asked like, oh, we're going to be attached. We never were attached to Tally, right? Just to make it clear, the decoupling is a really important concept. It's the idea that the app is just painting. It's just how do you describe this? It's just the facade on top of the building. The building is a smart contract, and what DGov does really, really well is actually extract the data. When you say Stella, all the data is correct, yeah, obviously because they're getting it from the smart contract. Like it's not like they did anything magic to import or any of that, right? So for me, this is really good. And Hamti make an amazing point. Like, is this decentralized if there's just one front end? I would say no. I mean, or not as much as it could be or should be. It's plausibly decentralized, let's say, but it's not fully decentralized. And so, yeah, now when you vote, you can use Tally, you can use DGov, and I think I will use DGov because it's well done. You could also, if you wanted, and if you're a nerd, you can use EtherScan, right, or Basescan specifically, because it's another front end. It's obviously not one that is built for this. It's not one that is kind of user-friendly, but that really is the magic about smart contract. And so something that I want to, all think about is really the idea that when you deploy on Unlock a membership contract or when you use our governance contract, the front end itself doesn't matter too much. Obviously, it's useful, and once you pick it, it's great. And when Stella says it's just a UI, I also don't want to dismiss this. Right? Like it's a very important thing, but it's just in a sense that it's not the whole thing, and that's actually the point. Is like we're not tied to a thing. I think Stella is frozen. Is it just my connection that's weird, or Stella's connection that's weird?
Oh, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back. But yeah,
anyway, oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Cool. Honestly, again, amazing job. I don't want to butcher. You said Jackson's your name, right? Partners. Oh, I don't know.
Partnership.
Yeah, you can call me Annie. Yeah.
Partnership dude. Okay, amazing job. This is fantastic. I'm excited to play with this and use it myself for some stuff. I just have one question. In the bottom left, there is a little green progress bar that says 99% operational. It's like, what's the 1% missing? Tell me about this. On the UI.
Okay. I guess you're referring to the small
green progress bar at the bottom where it says,
so we know that these tools have we would love to put it 100%, but we can put it 100% operational because we know that these services can face some downtime, and as such, we don't want to overpromise and under-deliver. So we tell you 99% is actually 99% uptime, 99% operational, and we are showing you of 99% uptime of the unlock protocol on DGov. So yes, it's for the UI purpose.
Okay, just to make sure it's not an unlock thing, right? It's not something that
no.
Okay, yeah, it's the system itself.
No.
I get it. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
And it changes to 100%. If you look at it, it changes to 100%, changes back to 99, fluctuates back to 100%. So it's not just static at 99. It moves 99, 100, 99, 100.
Yeah, sounds good. Have you guys understood each other? Yeah? Okay. So Thank you for the presentation. This was awesome. So I suggest when we're finishing building ours, we should make sure that people know that they can use our dashboard, but they can also use Tally, they can also use DevGov, right? So we make sure people can use whatever they want to use and whatever they feel suits their needs best. Does that sound good? And when we push this out, we also make sure we talk about the 3 different options of performing governance. I don't know if Gosman is around, our new article wizard. This might be inspiration for you. The magic of community dashboards. Just instilling a little bit of, yes, I mean, okay, just like sprinkling some inspiration into your direction to see if you want to write an article possibly about these different options. If that makes sense. Sounds good? Sounds good. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you for showing this to us. If you have any other ideas we could maybe support or help with to bring more attention to this, then maybe just let Stacey know in the marketing channel chat. Maybe, Stacey, you can ping partnership dude over there and get cross-relations started. Also, we were just connected by Kara with the people from... Oh, God. Sorry, I'm not doing this intentionally. Just too much good information coming in. The Human Passport people. Just to confirm with you, Julian, the hook is still active, right? The Human Passport. They rebranded. It's passport.xyz.
Yeah.
I think we have...
It should still work. I mean,
right?
I don't think there's any change, so it should still work out of the box.
Oh, awesome. Okay, because they reached out and Kara reconnected us essentially. And what they want to do is they want to explore how what did they say? There's anything we can do to help point your ecosystem partners towards this functionality, that would be great. And yeah, they just want to explore re-engagement campaign options with us. So I was thinking maybe we ask them if they would be able to, make a little pool and reward some unlocked content creators to talk about this. Just as an idea, right? All right, good. That's on the road. Stacey, I have bad news. Your bestie Soho is stuck in very hot Mexican traffic right now, and she's melting apart. And as we all know, South American traffic is no joke, so you also need to focus while you're melting away. So, Stacey, would you mind giving us a little bit of an introduction to Garden, what Soho actually wanted to talk to us about today? Sorry, putting this on you.
Yeah, sure. Yes, she also sent me that message, and yeah, unfortunately, he's stuck on the traffic. So let me send you the proposal she has made, so you can check it out also. Meanwhile, I am sharing my screen, and we can take an overview together. So she proposed this new way to consider the governance for Unlock, in the concern that usually what we have and what we see on voting proposals is that people that have a voting power based on the amount of UP token is usually based, which is good but not necessarily perfect, because there are sometimes that there are some whales and they vote, and obviously this drives like a traffic on one side of the voting process, instead of really engaging in the discussion and bringing value to the discussion of the proposal, and obviously participating in the governance itself, not only voting, as just only one side of the governance process. So what she presents here is a possibility to make also a voting power divided between different kind of things like attestations, guild, guilds points, and HATS protocol. As we have our HATS tree deployed, and obviously now people are going to get their HATS as part of the recognition on the community. That this could be something that could really help us to really identify the people that are really contributing in the DAO, but by not only engaging in the discussions, but also proposing and taking part in all the process. And so the mechanisms that she's offering are various, but this is one. The other one would be the artistic NFT by a monthly voting power, which could be a collectible NFTs that can be created to represent certain things that can be used on the voting process itself. And obviously there is always a hybrid voting on Snapshot, considering that there could be situations that it doesn't require to have only on-chain voting processes, but also off-chain voting processes. So as we already have a snapshot, then just taking the use of that, but obviously using the app token as we usually have, but also setting the NFT holders of different NFTs that we set as required to make this kind of votings, and attestations that could be also a part of our integrations, which could be our certifications, in fact, I think. But that's the proposal that Soho was building. Obviously, this is a work in progress, and if you have any comment, any suggestion, feedback is completely welcome. We are right now open to discussions on all of these, and obviously this is something as a draft. This could be perfectible in any way as you can consider it. Yes, Estela, please. I see your hand raised.
I'm just realizing I'm the host of this meeting. I'm still raising my hand. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, I was just thinking, because I had this conversation with Nick, that it might be interesting to connect Nick and Soho and see if they can hash something out that is actually feasible, because as far as he told me, they already have some contracts that should work on chain with NFT voting. So we don't need to resort to using Snapshot again. We could use, regular on-chain voting, be it via probably a DevGov environment or a Tally or our own dashboard to actually make NFTs count as much. And we could maybe think about two different use cases. Yes?
Sorry to interrupt. It's DGov, not DevGov. This is
Oh,
the second time you said it. Yeah, DGov. Yeah, thank you.
DGov. Oh, so sorry. Thank you for
DGov,
correcting me.
DGov. Yep.
DGov.
Yeah, no, no,
DGov.
no
Not
problem.
DevGov.
No
DGov.
problem.
Yeah. Surrounded by too many developers. I apologize. So thinking that maybe we can use it and still do this on chain, because we've moved to Base to make it affordable. There is not really a good reason anymore to vote off chain. So I think we should really try and make use of that. But maybe next step could be to connect those two and figure out how to make this a solid proposal that's backed by the technology as well. thoughts. Also, one thought that I had, but I'm not sure if I'm overthinking this, is maybe by offering too many different models, it becomes very confusing. Right? It's already hard to keep like the attention span of people around. So if we had like, attestations, and we would have this and we would have this, and all of this compiles into voting power for this use case, you can use that much percent for this, it just gets like out of hand very easily. So I would propose maybe two use cases, maybe protocol changes, right? They would still require you to have an ERC20 token, basta, right? And for everything that is more of I would say, a social vote, right? That could be done with reputation on chain, for example, with HEADS protocols. I think keeping it simple is still key, while I understand the inherent need for a governance 2.0 system that includes and doesn't exclude. So that's that. Julian, just say something.
Yeah, I'm echoing what you just said. Like for social voting, yes, we can do any kind of thing that we want. But for anything that's in the end on-chain using the governor contract, I don't know of anything that's not ERC20 based. And there's been Stella has been here long enough. That's been a kind of a constant struggle to find alternatives. There's none. The only alternative, which I think we're trying to do, is as the DAO, we have tokens, and so slowly distribute these tokens to the people that are actually building things, and hoping that they're not dumping them right away, because that's their voting rights, basically. And so in the end, they get the power to choose what they want to do with the protocol. Like we can design whatever scheme we want with NFTs or any of this, but none of the smart contracts support this. And right now, on-chain voting has to happen through the smart contract for the treasury, for the protocol upgrades and stuff like this. So it's not like it's not interesting. It's absolutely interesting, but I don't think this solves the problem that we're looking for.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say exactly what Julian said, because this was something that, it's been a topic of discussion for a long time in the DAO, and it all goes down to the smart contracts. The governor only works with the governor's token, and so at the end of the day, if it's gonna go on chain, it's gonna go right back to the token problem. So whatever it is, the only other thing that just came to my mind as I was speaking is maybe like the unlock already has some delegates in the past, so maybe some delegates in the DAO that sort of represents what the people, like whatever these other mechanisms resort to, and so those people will end up having to vote what the consensus is on those other systems. But at the end of the day, the whale can still vote what they want, and it can still go a different direction. But that would offer some kind of people's voice to the process. That's the only thing that I can think about.
Maybe one question, because I'm not being fully close enough, but has there been recent instances where a whale has swayed a vote differently from what we want? I mean, it feels to me like the whales are actually not voting, which is maybe a bigger problem than the whales voting in ways we don't want. Stella, you're definitely more aware of this than I am, but yeah, right now it feels like the bigger challenge is to get the whales to vote more than get them to vote the same as the rest of the community, I guess.
Yeah, I think I want to say for the most part. So what I know is two of our whales, they is, I think, not paying much attention to anything else, and the other one had some private issues to take care of, so no voting there either. And the whales that we do have still voting, myself included, I guess, by now. I mean, we're following our duties bravely. We've seen a slight increase in, especially in minor token holders voting, I think, from the hackathon. So that's very nice. And I really appreciate that. I actually always feel bad now when I vote, because I feel like I'm already pushing it like with one vote through the 3 million quorum border. So I don't think that's the goal. So I was thinking maybe there's a way that I have never tried this, but reduce my influence on a vote just by nature. Just vote with 1 million and not 3 million altogether. So yeah. Yeah, I was thinking maybe to delegate to others, but also I guess it's a really good idea when it comes to Stacey/Soho's proposal to get like more people involved. I also think partnership dude's product, long one, Jackson's product, can help with that, right? Providing a new user interface to people they might feel more comfortable with. Our dashboard can hopefully do that. So I think there are many solutions that might lead to a better outcome. And I also think, the rewards program that we talked today excessively in the marketing call about, I don't know, Julian, if you had a time to check this out, but the newsletter is going to be launched today, so you can check it out in the newsletter. Is essentially a rewards program for social media content creators. And a few people, including Soho and Gossman, have already handed their things in. And yeah, pretty cool content. Stella, maybe you can have a hardware wallet and transfer some of your token there and only vote with what is on your hot wallet. Yeah, I could do that. Then also, it's nice to have the system. No, it's actually a good idea. Maybe I will undelegate. I don't know. But also, I would rather delegate it to other people in the community, to be honest, to level the balance field, I guess. At least 1 million or so. I think that would be nice. Yeah, I would get on that. Good point, guys. Okay, there is reflection of your consistency here. But I mean, 1 million less wouldn't hurt anything, and I wouldn't sway a vote entirely. Gossman, yeah, see, I could delegate to you. How about that? That sounds like a good idea. I could delegate to Humpty. How about that? Yeah, you should up your game. I should delegate to you just to force you to vote. We need more whales. Exactly. That's the way. Okay, guys. Any questions for this week? Are we good? You guys are good? Any questions? 1, 2, 3. No questions. Okay.
Actually, you said delegate to me. Honestly, if DGov wants to become a delegate on, and join and be more active on the unlocked participation, we're more than happy to make room, I guess, as a community. Also, if you want, I don't know if you know, but there's the Unlock membership protocol. I mean, obviously, this is what Unlock is for. If you want to create some kind of, and Unlock membership for DGov, that would be, special features or whatever as a way to monetize, we're more than happy to guide you there as well.
Also, you just reminded me of something. I agree with you, by the way, Julian. We should make sure that people who are building cool shit actually also have a voice. I wanted to show you guys this because, as you know, I've had many different onboarding calls with creators over the last year, and sadly not all of them turn out successfully, but here is a little bit of a success story. T Wolf is a creator on Farcaster, and she is very much in physical fashion, as you can see, and she created this NFT on Unlock, and it's gonna become a really cool collection of different fashion patterns. And yeah, and you can mint it here. Look at that. You can mint this. So if you feel like owning a trapeze dress, because what she also offers is that she makes the physical paper pattern for you if you buy the digital NFT. So that's kind of a really cool use case. And of course, we're cross-posting this on all social media channels today. Okay, cool.
Totally. Yeah, totally. I agree with that. And yeah, definitely having more actors and more participants in the DAO, it's also cool to see and experiment, and definitely really welcome to participate. And as you know, now we have a program for content contributions that as community members you can do as DAO members. And if you want to participate on that, then it's really easy. Just make the content that you would like. It could be video, written content, an infographic, anything that you would like, and just follow the templates on the Chambers space on the reward section that we have on Chambers. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. I will be glad to guide you on the process and continue that. So as a retroactive funding, you will receive the compensation of that kind of work. So consider that.
Absolutely. And one last call to action. As we're cleaning up the GitHub, aka Julian is responsible for cleaning up the GitHub. I see you. I see you. Please fill out. It's a very short form. I promise you can just write 3 sentences in this. But tell us what you want us to improve. What would make Unlock like a tremendously different, better, positive experience for you from how it is right now, right? So this is the little D form that we set up, and we're collecting thoughts on here. Please add them, because this will make it so much easier for us to review and put them up on GitHub. So please do that. I'm asking this week for the last time, because next week we need to start putting stuff up. And worst comes to worst, only my ideas will make it. So you better get in on that. Humpty, let's go.
Playing on. I've got my country music playing in the background. Okay, cool. So this is one thing that I used to mention pretty regularly to Johnny over at Hypersub. And I don't know, it fell on deaf ears, whatever. I think this would be probably something to consider for NFT memberships here, with the way that Unlock does it. One thing that I think is missing, oh, I have the wrong camera on. Anyways, one thing that's missing right now is for a place for those who support us as creators to go and connect and have a conversation with us. One of the most proliferated successful models that works for traditional creators and their communities is Patreon, as you probably know. Another one, love it or hate it, OnlyFans. There are 2 ways to get your supporters to kind of have some sort of financial stake into your success, and that financial stake opens up a kind of channel for you to have a conversation or relationship with that creator. I've seen YouTubers primarily do a really good job at asking their community to participate through polls, so that they can kind of dictate the way the content will be developed in the future, or just generally have conversations, early access to content. And this is something that I feel right now is missing. It's like, yes, we're really good at like giving people a platform to pay, right? But it still feels like a very kind of transactional relationship, social first, right? And we're actually starting to see some of that succeed in Web3, which is like things like Farcaster, or even like the Base app after they updated it with like Farcaster protocol. There is this like renewed enthusiasm for crypto because there is that social element, and that's such a human thing that is necessary for us. And so when I'm kind of talking to my audience and charging them for something, I don't want that to be the dead end, or for me to say, hey, by the way, go to another platform and have a conversation with me there. It should be pretty seamless. The discovery of, the creators, the discovery of the content that they make, and the conversations and those relationships should all happen in the same place. So just wanted to give that feedback, because I know that, Unlock has their NFT memberships, and I think that that's a really powerful tool. I think it might be underutilized. But I think without adding a social element to it, it kind of may hit the same wall that other products in crypto have faced.
That's very good feedback. And just to give you a bit of context on this, because I 100% agree with that. We always thought that we shouldn't build a social app ourselves. Like that connectivity should happen somewhere else. And then at some point, and you mentioned Farcaster, we had somebody try to create an app, a Farcaster app that would allow people to check out inside of Farcaster. Unfortunately, I think Farcaster has a bunch of limitations that makes it a bit harder than what we thought it would be. But we never, I mean, and maybe that's a mistake, but like I don't think Unlock should be a destination. It's the membership, it's the underlying layer through which the payment and the membership happen, but these should be integrated in other apps. We don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Unlock should be a destination. Like my goal has always been to say, hey, we're building a protocol that can be integrating into other apps, like you mentioned Farcaster, Discord with the Discord bot, on other places where communities exist, rather than tell everybody, hey, you need to move to our stuff because in the end that's where your community is. If you think about, I don't know if I heard this. If you think about, Substack just creating a bunch of drama because they don't actually now let creators export their subscribers' data anymore, that's really what we want to avoid. And so for me, it's always been kind of a way to a fence, if you want, to say, okay, we're going to build this independently of the social platform so that the social platform are always where the interaction happens. And then from there, there's maybe a checkout. Maybe we actually, our checkout, can be linked and linked back. So it hopefully is not too much of a distraction. You click through, you purchase, and then you go back. But it's never meant to be a destination. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean that was the same kind of argument that Johnny would make for Hypersub, but at
Yep.
the end of the day, you see where it's at now. Like it's slowly dying.
Yeah.
That's not news. I will take something he told me, which I find it interesting that he didn't really take this advice too much. But he said you have to build both the protocol and the client, right?
Yeah.
So for him, the protocol and the client was like Fabric and Hypersub, right? But to be honest, like the client really isn't just the subscription service, is the way for people to socialize that subscription. And this is also the reason why why Farcaster insists on building their own client. It's a place for them to dog
Yep.
food their product, right? The
No, I agree.
protocol is their primary. Look at everybody raising their hands. Let me finish, y'all. Y'all, hang on. So, it's great. I appreciate, that sentiment, but, at the end of the day, I don't think that that's necessarily how it's going to prove successful.
Yeah, and I think
Okay,
you're.
so
Go ahead.
let me anchor in here, okay? Because I'm in the middle between you two, and I think Humpty is right. There is an urgent need for this to survive, right? So I don't think Julian is the one who is supposed to build this. I think this is where there is a bridge here, is what I'm trying to say. So let me bridge it, right? So the goal of collecting feedback is exactly that. So we are working in the next month with Ethereum Bolivia and with Scout Game together to specifically motivate that they build products that they own, something that Julian has been advocating for, I think, since his existence in the space. Yeah. So this is the goal, right? So essentially what you're saying, what should be built, for example, Patreon, Farcaster, kind of hybrid, whatever, right? That works with Unlock memberships. That's something that I'm super strongly going here for. Because I think you're absolutely right. We need this. We need people to be able to have a seamless experience and connect well. I'm also part of the curators troop around feeds from Procoin, right? So I planted that seed today as well in the group chat. I was like, hey, have you considered letting Unlock Protocol do the job under the hood, right? Because it's such a solid product, right? It's been around for so long, yet it's not really utilized enough, like you said. And this is what eventually leads to these good, solid products to die. And we don't want that. And I think here we are slightly different than Hypersub, right? Maybe in more than one aspect, to be honest. We are a DAO. So we can make things happen that the protocol by itself can't make happen, right? We can rail community members and say, hey, we know you want to build stuff. We know you don't have the funds. Let us give you the funds to get started. Build this out, own it, earn your own money while letting creators, do this like really seamlessly, what they've always wanted to do with these apps. So thank you for pointing this out because it's very high up on my own agenda as well. And even last year, I was pushing for the DAO to specifically build something like this. I don't know, Ceci probably remembers, Julian probably remembers, because I'm so with you on this. We need easy. We need easy for creators. And this is, I guess, why I was also so happy to see T Wolf doing her pattern, because I had this call with her, and there's always a 50-50% chance. Either a creator's like, oh yeah, I understand. Like, this is a contract that I own. That's amazing. And it clicks for them, and they go and they do their thing and they're happy. And then there is the large majority of creators who are like, how is this any different from Rodeo Club? And you're like, I
And
tried, but it is the seamlessness. It is this like direct to market thing.
just for
That's it.
because I
Anyway,
need to
yeah,
jump,
sorry.
but a good example of that I'm describing is what happened earlier today with DGov. Like one front end different from the back end, decoupled. And Unlock, if you want, is building, in the DGov example, has built the governor contract logic. I don't think any creator should actually ever come to Unlock's front end, and any member should also come to Unlock's front end. Like we're really focusing on the underlying protocol, the membership thing, and then people like the DGov team can build amazing application on top of this, and hopefully others. I would love to continue this discussion, and Humpty, I'm also active in the Farcaster ecosystem. I'm actually not convinced that the pivot that Farcaster went for over the last year to go from like, okay, we're building the protocol to, okay, we're going to own the whole stack is actually going to work better. We've seen that play out over and over. And I mentioned Substack a couple of minutes ago. Substack used to say, oh, yeah, we're just building a thing. You can export your subscribers. Well, turns out you can't anymore. And every single platform that has done this in the end did this. Twitter 19 years ago, started with that idea as well, and eventually, moved away from that. So it's a very difficult problem. I'm not saying it's easy. I do think that in the end, we need application to be built on top of smart contracts, on top of protocols. And I definitely agree that the solution of like having users go back and forth is not the right approach. We need to have an application that manages the whole thing, except that the smart contract is the plausible escape hatch, if you want, that allows for this. And Twitter was bad before Musk, right? Like, I just want to make it clear. It's not Musk that messed it up. Musk just made it worse, but it was already broken way before Musk. All right, chat soon, guys.
Partnership dude, please. Your turn.
Okay. No, it's just a final question. So I'm a bit curious. What's that thing that, if done right at unlock, sends us from 0 to like 100? What's that core thing that we need to get right that moves us upwards like really really fast as a protocol?
I'm having a hard time believing in fast growth, because usually there is a catch to it.
Okay.
But I think I still know where you're getting at. I think we need a network effect. We need people kind of think about Tupperware. How Tupperware sold in the 70s. Like, for some reason, I tend to think of Unlock this way. If enough people have great experiences with it and understand how it works, right?
I can't hear you,
and that it benefits them. Oh.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you for the last 20 seconds. I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry. Oh, hope to say tell me your Gen X without telling me your Gen X law. I mean, I didn't get to hear what you said earlier. So what did you say?
She was talking about the network effect. So making a comparison of Tupperware, the plastic thing.
Okay.
So that's why Humpty is making her. Yeah.
I mean, we should all be proud of our generations, right? So it's nothing bad. I mean, being in that generation, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen whatever. I mean, it's cool. So, yeah.
I mean, in my defense.
Okay.
Yeah, in my defense, I only ever saw it in a movie. Okay, Humpty. What are you trying to insinuate here? Okay. So anyways, yeah, I was talking about the network effect. I think if more people were to use it and were to use it for very different purposes, I think it but then there is also an educational component. Hunty, how many creators do you know that truly understand why Web3 benefits them? Like really in percentages,
Growing
if
every
like
day.
100% of creators. Huh?
You're talking about like Web 2 or Web 3 creators?
No, I'm talking about all the creators, let's say
In
that's
general.
100%, right?
Yeah.
And how many of those do understand that Web3 is for them beneficial to use?
So I mean, if you're asking realistically, I think there is, well, when it comes to Web2 creators, they don't care. They don't want to use it, right? Because they know that there is a risk in moving their audience to a different platform. So that platform risk is
Mm,
real. They're like, why would I take it to Unlock, where all my audience knows about platform? That's a reputable brand, and they have a very clear value proposition. Same for OnlyFans. Like, even though it's newer, there's still kind of a very clear value proposition in terms of what people can do on those platforms. So in terms of the people who are in Web3, there's people, the people know the value of on-chain media. The problem is it's a couple of years behind. It's a couple of cycles behind. They still think that on-chain media exists strictly only as NFTs. And the only way that you can capture the value from your community or your audience is through releasing a collection, right? PFPs. Like, it's a very, sure, successful model, but it isn't keeping up with kind of a lot of the changes, including even like unlock NFTs, as how they've evolved over time, right? There's a lot richer context that can be added to these NFTs now. Whereas before it was like, you just hold an NFT, which is non fungible, in your wallet, and that is what makes you a part of this community. It could be 100, 1,000,
yeah.
10,000. So the answer is a lot of people do. They just don't understand the evolution of it, and that's our job, right? In terms of like educating them. I speak for
Mm,
myself. That's my job. That's why I go around the world, meeting creators where they are. You've been there several times for these events that I've hosted. And I do the same thing with the media that I create digitally, through spaces, through, Farcaster, to help them understand that. So, yeah, I
yeah.
understand where you were trying to take me, but I'm not going to fall for that. Thank you.
No, I was not trying to make you fall for something. I'm just saying there is an educational component, right? And we cannot underestimate that. So the question essentially a partnership dude asked sadly doesn't have a straightforward, simple response as in, oh, what do we need to do to make this go boom, right? Because this making go boom still has an educational component, sadly. And that's the one that's not so easy to achieve. Otherwise, I think, where it takes time. It's not that it's not easy to achieve, but it takes time to sit with people. Like even with T Wolf, it was like I had this call with her and I told her, she should think about it. If she has questions, she can come back to me. But at the end, like it still took her a few days, right, to make this decision and come to this conclusion for herself. So it's never just as straightforward as, for example, I remember when I had my first call with the guys from Meet With, and I was like, okay, let me cancel my Calendly membership. Like I'm just like this. I'm like, oh, there's a Web3 tool. Let's support that instead if it can do basically the same thing, right? For me, this goes without a question, but most people are a little bit more hesitant, probably for very healthy reasons, to be honest. I'm not saying that, my way of doing things is always so good. But yeah, this is just a component we have to deal with. Guys, I have to drop. I'm already being horribly late. But I see you guys in the chats. And next week is full summary DAO call. Partnership dudes, Stacey, you guys mingle in the chats, figure out how we can shine more light on dgov.ai. I got you. dgov.ai. And Gosman, I inspired you a little bit, I hope. And Dan, I think, has something really awesome to show us soon as well. So see you guys. Bye. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Don't forget
Bye.
to fill out the
Thank,
form. Bye.
thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.